Howdy, folks. My boats sit so haphazardly in my room, and they take up so much space. I want to build an RC boat rack for my bedroom with a surfboard for a base, and actually a surfboard rack bolted to it. When you look in here, I just got boats everywhere, and I want to change that. Like I said, at first I bought a surfboard on Craigslist because I didn't want to use one of mine that I actually like. But this board's pretty cool, but I'm still going to use it. Then I bought the surfboard rack on Craigslist, and we're going to put them together. I bought these clamps at Dollar General to help hold the rails in place. I bought this Rust-Oleum at Home Depot. It kind of matches my room. Matches the walls. Blends right in because I want to paint the rack a blue that matches. I got some 3-inch 1/4x20 beveled bolts. I got nylock locking nuts. And I got these big fender washers to back them up so the nuts don't pull through the fiberglass. Now I've used the clamps to clamp everything in place. Now that I've done my measurements and my guesstimates, I'll take my drill bit like this, the holes that I've anchored in there. Drill it straight on through. Then take my shark. Clean it on up. Then clean on through with a 3-inch bolt. Now on the back side, I've doubled up these fender washers and put nylocks. Get those cinched down. Remember, this is the initial mock-up because we're going to take the rack back off and we're going to paint it. We're just trying it out. The thing is really nice. It's really well balanced. It's holding all these boats with no problem. It can still hold 2 more down at the bottom. What I like, the one thing I kind of like is how deep the racks are. I honestly think I could put 2 DOMs on each rack. And that rack can hold 3 mini DOMs or a couple of hydros. That bottom one can hold a big cat. I like this so far. We're gonna paint the rack turquoise just so it's not so loud and black. Stay tuned. Now it's time to take it back apart. As you can see, this thing had little pads on it. I took all the little pads off, and there's little ends on it. I mocked up blue pool noodle. See how that's gonna look underneath. I actually think this looks killer. Now what I'm gonna do, because the black rack is really loud. You know what I mean? And the room is actually turquoise. So what I'm going to do is paint the rack itself turquoise. I'm not going to paint these little arms. I'm going to just paint the base turquoise so it blends in better. But I got to unbolt everything first and tape it off. Alright, so I taped these little arms off. Painter's tape. Now I'm going to unbolt the rack from the surfboard so I can paint it. I also cleaned it with some Windex. With an Allen key and pliers, I'm tightening up each one of these little arms before I paint it. Hitting it with the Rust-Oleum. Alright. They've both been hit with 2 coats. Now it's time to unmask them. I found this green pool noodle. I think I'm gonna use it. Okie doke. Now we have the painted rack installed on the boat. And I think it looks really nice. I think it blends in really well. It's a lot more cheerful than just the black. And I'm pleased so far. Let's get the pads on this thing. Okay, now I went ahead and refoamed the arms with pool noodle. I didn't have enough green or blue or red, so I mixed them up a bit. I'll be getting some blue pool noodle for this, but this is where we're at. I think it looks great. I think it's going to complement the theme of my apartment really well. Now let's put a few boats on it and see how it looks. Okay, now, this looks awesome if I do say so myself. This thing holds 6 boats very well out of the way. It's going to go really well in my bedroom. I think what I'm going to do is, well, for sure what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it mounted on the wall. Get that house mounted on the wall. This really saved me a lot of space, and it's turned out to be a really nice way to store my boat. These racks are really deep. I could actually fit in that ship. In each of these boats, these racks would probably fit a mini dom as well. So I could feasibly hold more than 6 boats with this. Stay tuned as we build the second one out of this skimboard, little 3-boat rack.